What?
We're both sipping on our caffeine right now. Let me clear my throat. And
Yeah.
are we live right now? What is going on?
No, we're not. Oh, we are.
Yes, we are so live, dude. We are so live right now.
Yes, we are.
How is everybody doing on this Sunday? Dad and I were just ripping into a real one about your own happiness and creating your own happiness in the moment. And I something happened this week, and I wasn't thrilled with my editing job on the Rector video. There will be a Redux someday, just so our collective has the most gorgeous version of that should exist. And so I went through the whole gamut of emotions, which started kind of like this. It started like to
those are good ones.
Pissed, like pissed. Like, how can I miss this? How like, of all the things, like I just want to get right. How did I miss this? Snippy, you idiot. And it wasn't 10 minutes later, everybody, where I just had the thought of like, dude, give yourself, it's okay. Nobody in the comments hated on it. Everybody just appreciated that we were together with Zach and Farah.
Yeah.
I went back and listened to it again, and it was like just the things that we were saying to each other. We're really on that couch just trying to build up and inspire people who have inspired us. Those are the people that we had on the couch with us in Vegas. And that's what I'm here to do for all of you. Always know that. We've got a bunch of different outlets now. I'm available to you to help you hit that reset. And real quick, Dad, this is the thing I wrote down. This is just a quick.
What do you got?
Instagram thing. This is from Abundance Station because I listen to such things. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat. If you feel like everyone hates you, sleep. If you feel like you hate yourself, shower. If you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, write them down. If you feel stuck in the past, plan for the future. If you feel anxious about the future, focus on the present. If you feel restless, take a long walk. If you feel like giving up, remember a time where you succeeded. That is what I want the crew to run on in the comments here, if y'all wouldn't mind, is we want to hear about a moment in your life, doesn't matter how big or small, where you just nailed it. It just doesn't matter how you feel right now. Just remember a moment where you hit a 10 out of 10. You hit the tennis ball in the sweet spot. You nailed it. You were nice to somebody. You started your business. Your kid graduated from high school. Whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
Throw them down there, crew. Let's build each other up. Let's inspire each other today.
Oh, what a great way to start the show, Brent.
Thanks, Dad.
Good. Love that. I love that. Who wrote that?
I think it was a speech Denzel Washington gave. He's in. I love his stuff. He's a big motivator. Not to mention one of my favorite actors. So
yeah,
very cool.
And look at all of you.
What do you got for us, Dad, on that or anything else?
I really just want to thank everybody in here, man. SBF, XRP Slave, Northern Living, of course. Simon's in the house, of course.
Love you too, Wayne.
Texting a little bit last couple of days. See, he's here. Wayne's always in. Thanks, brother Wayne. Kyle, no, we're not doing spaces yet. I don't know why, but we're not yet. But no, just ask a question, Kyle. We'll answer it. We'll try and remember.
Yeah. Sure. Fire away. Let's go. And T.O., love you, bro.
I'm doing really good. I'm sort of confused a little bit about, I want to make more content, but I just kind of feel like all there is out there really in the crypto world right now is news.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a news guy, if you know what I mean. There's so many. I'm not a news guy because there's so many other people that are incredible at it. You know what I mean? There's no way I could compete with Zach or even Brad or even, whoever's your favorite. I'll tell you another channel I watch too a lot is Swan with what's his name? It's all Bitcoin stuff, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
He's always talking about the sports. Man, it's terrible. I can't remember his name. Anyway, that guy's really good. And there's just so many people that cover the news. And I just always feel like if I was going to do an extra show a week, I would have to, it'd have to be in a different time. It'd have to be more of a bull market and kind of like everybody's piling in and there's just more and more thoughts about what's happening. But no, today I really said to myself, well, 3 shows a week's pretty good, this and that. Maybe I should do more. But I didn't want to be a news program. And then it hit me the other night. I said, you know what I need to do more of? I need to do more of where we're going videos.
Yeah.
And then I wrote like 3 shows and now I'm like behind. I got to film those. So I'm.
That's who you are, Dad. I mean, you explained it really well to me, a month ago. We were both kind of feeling out who we are, in crypto. I'm like, and you accurately characterize me as somebody who still cares about the engine. I care about teaching people how the engine works because there's going to be so many new people coming in. I know that's not stimulating content for people who have already had those bells and lights go off, which is, why I do less content than my father. And then my dad is the car's already going. Car's already out of the garage. And it's like, okay, what are we going to see on this trip? How is my car working? How's it working on the road?
Yeah.
Where are we going? And it's cool. It's really cool to. I follow content and always try to look at both of those things. And I'm glad that you're that way, Dad, because it's it's a cool creative way to look at it too. It's like, what do we want it to be? Where do we want to go with it? And it's like we can't come on here and tell you guys what to buy or any of that stuff. Like, nor should we.
I don't like to.
We're telling you to research and we're telling you to buy what you believe in and what works for you and where you see this thing going.
Yeah.
But it's cool that we all get to share that with each other. It's like we want to hear where you think this is going, so we can get an idea. It's like, oh man, the people are thinking this way, probably going to go that way.
Yeah. That's right. I'm really torn as like there's so many really cool shows that I want to be on. So I really want to get a hold of those people. Like, some people motivate me. They send me a video. God, I forgot his name. Was it Sean? Somebody sent me. Sorry, no, it wasn't Sean. Somebody sent me a video of the show that's going on over the weekend in Cape Canaveral that we were invited to, actually, Brent. And
I think Sean's there.
He was there. Yeah. So somebody sent me.
I got to pull it back, actually. He was bummed that we're not there with him, Dad.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's like, man, I don't have you two. I don't have Simon with me. Like,
right. Yeah.
he sent me a cool comment on that.
So that video popped up, so I watched it, and it was with Dave and Versan, and which was very good, really good, and that provoked a video out of me. I watched their 30-minute video or whatever it was, and I was writing the whole time, and it had nothing to do with their show. I wrote like 2 shows just from watching their show, and it's really not about their show. It's not about even what they were talking about. That's just kind of how my mind works. It's like I get this, like almost like this idea or contrarian view from what people are talking about. Anyway, that's what it did to me. And I can't wait to share that with you guys this coming week. Mm-hmm. We told Kyle I would answer his question, and now I skipped it. What is his question, Brent? Can you put that up?
Yes. That's good.
I have the answer. Actually, Northern Living kind of nailed it.
There's this one.
Yeah. Well, he had a question before that. That was the punchline to the question. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. As a matter of fact, that's a really good question. Kyle, here's what I would say about that. You're holding something, if you're holding XRP, if you watch my last video, that I know I put 10 on there, a list of 10, and a lot of people, like, oh, what's your favorite coins? People missed what I was trying to talk about. I talked about 3 different lists of 10 in the same video. And a lot of people, I never got the 10. That's like, well, it's a concept, dude. Just expand a little, man. But anyway, it was one of the things you really want to know about XRP is you're owning the process of it. It's sort of like with all software. You don't necessarily own a gold coin in your hand. You own the concept or the movement or the idea or the patent, if you will, of the use of that technology. Okay, you own that. You don't own necessarily a bill to go pay something with. That's why I hope and pray that XRP never becomes money. I know it's going to be money to a lot of people, and I know some people can already pay bills. There's a place in Jordan, I guess, is already taken for electric bills, and then I saw Northern Living put in here that the country Georgia is doing actually the same. I'd rather that not happen to XRP, because that will limit. That's a stable coin. That will limit its value to the value of other currencies around it. I see bigger pictures for it. And what I mean by that is it's the concept of XRP is enabling the value of anything to be put into XRP and then transmitted, or railroad tracks, or across planets or neighborhoods or from friend to friend, and that value coming up exactly equal on the other side, which means that it's an invaluable skill. It's a use case. It's a use of money in which a patent, in my opinion, is very useful, except for all of this is so open source that I think a lot of them are going to copy each other. It's all going to be kind of boiled down, all kind of be used the same way. All that to say this, you need both. This is what Bitcoin people understand already. You need Bitcoin, and then you need fiat. You don't want to spend your Bitcoin for fiat things. If you're going to buy a cup of coffee with your Bitcoin, then you better be replacing at the end of the day or the end of the week or before the end of the month your Bitcoin for what the coffee that you spent all month. Like, if you're smart, here's how you handle this. If you're smart, which I'm not, because I don't do this, and I wish I was, You put everything on a credit card. And on day 29, you pay with your Bitcoin, your bill. And on day 30, okay, you buy, because your income has come in all along, you buy the equivalent amount of Bitcoin for the next following month. That's how you live off of Bitcoin the rest of your life. That's how you would do that. That makes sense to me. There's also infinite banking ways that you could do the same thing, but then you're still stuck in the dollar the entire time. I want you to not just have a savings account of crypto. I want you to start living from your crypto as well. And that's what we all need to start doing. In particular with it, I think it's more important with XRP and going forward than it is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's more of a savings and XRP is more of a use case. Anyway, I hope that answered the question. The other answer is you have to hold a bag, Kyle, of XRP that you will never, ever, ever sell. Unless you have a really, really rainy day. And then you have it. That's the way you look at that.
Yep.
The way I look at it. I'm not telling you what to do, Kyle. I can't believe anybody even watches my videos, let alone listens to what I do for advice. That's just crazy. It's beyond me at times.
I was having this chat with Cody this week, and increasingly more and more, even us who are, having to work extra jobs and, just struggling to buy crypto, it's like, man, what happens if we hold this for 10 years instead of selling any of it? You start asking yourself those questions, and, we talk about creating generational wealth. My dad talks about it a lot. It's like, man, I want, my wife to be good. I want Brent to be good. I want, people around me and afterwards, like, to be good because I held on. And I feel the same way. Even if you don't have this giant bag, it's like, okay, do I really believe in this thing? Yes, I personally do. And so, we're talking about selling off at 30% maybe, when we try to hope that we can predict the next top, which is going to be very, very difficult. Everybody, like it's always difficult. And so what does that top look like? And then what is your 30%? And so you start getting on all that. It's like, well, if I did hang on for 10 more years, is that 2 more cycles? Is that maybe the cycles change and this thing just keeps growing legs and it just gets globally adopted and countries start using it and et cetera. Like all of a sudden that 30% wasn't a great take for the moment. You might have been comfortable in the moment, but it's like, is that going to put me over the top of creating my retirement or creating a life-changing amount of money? And so just make your own plan on what you have to do. And, I'm sure at some point I'll have to personally say something just to kind of pay bills and make everything right. Just because of the financial situation I'm in. But for some of you, no. For some of you, it's like, man, if I hold out, if I do this thing really smart, which isn't necessarily holding on to all of it, but I think it's like what you're talking about, Dad. It's like learning how to use it in ways to where I don't have to sell it.
Yeah.
Collateralization and, there are all these money markets that are popping up and, different forms, different funds to where we don't have to run it through the bank. We don't have to get taxed on it. We're going to try to be thinking of clever ways in here for all of us to be able to work with this in the future and keep it.
Yeah.
Try to keep it.
One of the important things to remember about crypto that a lot of people miss
Mhm.
is we call these bull cycles every 4 years, right? And they are bull cycles, and they are every 4 years so far, right? But the one thing is that if you look at a Bitcoin chart, in particular with Bitcoin, but all of them, because all the altcoins happen after Bitcoin typically. But if you look at that chart, there's about anywhere between 15 on some bull charts to 60 days to where if you weren't in the market those days, you missed 85% of the gains.
Mhm.
So that means you need to not screw this up by being in it until you make it through those times. So, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to buy it as soon as I can, or what. That's why DCA works so well, because you're always in it, right? But
Mhm.
why I was talking about cashing out and then getting back in the following day is the fact that you always have an exposure to the market. You don't know when those 2 weeks are coming. And then you feel like terrible because it went up 6 or 8% in one day. And you're like, oh, well, I'll just wait for it to go back down. Well, that happens to be the day of the 60 days that it never goes back down. And then your bull's over. And then you're standing there with a bag in your hand going, wow, man, I missed that one again. I got to wait 3 more years. And there's nothing worse. So you need to have a position in the market. Now, said all of that to say this. In my video, my last video that just came out yesterday, was a very, very important point in the video. And I think a lot of people missed it because when I listened to the playback this morning, I was like, well, I wasn't real clear about all that. And that's kind of what I wanted to make the whole video about. So I'm going to try and be clear now. You're going to have time when the winner is picked. It's going to be blatantly obvious. Everybody in their buddy at the barbecue is going to be talking about it, because the world is going to say it's Amazon. Now it's Amazon. We all know it's Amazon. And by the time everybody knew it was Amazon, did it go to the top? No, it went up for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to get out of this, oh, my heart is in this coin, therefore I want this one to succeed, period, mode, and get into the mode of, okay, I need to have some dry powder on the side because I might be way wrong on all of this. And they might just go with dog with hat guy. And you gotta not have a bias. You're an investor, guys. You're not a chimp with a laptop just bouncing off keys all day. Okay. We're going to leave that for that roaring kitty clown or whatever. I don't know how much of that clown show you guys watched. I was like, oh, maybe I should drop in for a bit of that. I was about 5 minutes into that, and I went, that guy is now, love his concept, love what he's doing to the market, love the way he's going about it, love all of it. Now I'm about to throw him under the bus.
Oh, dear.
How many hits of acid has that guy taken recently? I mean, I was like trying to follow what he was saying, and I was like, I'm in the wrong frame of consciousness to understand what this dude is talking about. But I listened to him for, I don't know, almost 10 minutes. He never said anything. Not a damn thing. And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I asked a friend of mine, I was like, well, how much of that did you watch? And he goes, well, he was on there like an hour and a half. And I was like, people watched the whole thing? I go, did he ever come to any conclusion at all? He's like, no. Nope. He never said anything. He never said yay, nay, maybe. He just babbled on and on and on and on and on. And I was like, man, this dude is high. I thought he was high. I don't know, man. But
Babylon.
I was like, and he's getting paid big. So good for him.
Right.
Now I'm jealous.
Good for him. Yeah.
Right? Like,
we could have just gotten baked and just
he's
done
clearly
this,
winning.
you know?
Right. I've been
Yeah.
doing it wrong this whole time. I love what he's doing to the world, though. I do.
We have so many, man. I loved your point on that, Dad. We have so many other good ones from the crew. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. Sell what you need to for the next year or two. Keep the rest. Love you, Professor. LB, like Dad said, it rings like a bell in my head. DCA is key. Dollar cost averaging in. And then our boy Sean, give it to us. Sell a small bag to free yourself from the rat race and get your finite time back. Hold the large bag to make the rat race work for you, becoming the god of your own clock.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kyle's got a great question. In my opinion, what's a lot of XRP? I get this one a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're 25, that's a whole different number than if you're 65. Let's just start there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already own your own home and your own property and all your vehicles, then it's another number. You know, if you're broke and destitute and you're 60 years old, that's a bigger number, a lot bigger number. So I would say, I put it like this. I like the idea of exiting out in percentages of 25%, as I talk about on the show all the time. If, let's say you've got 40,000 XRP. If 10,000, selling 10,000 of them at $5 or $10, okay, makes a significant change in your life, then I think you have the right amount of coins. Okay. Because the reason why I say that is because you're going to be tempted to hang on to all of them and then miss the entire bull market if you don't have enough of them. Okay. However, if you've got enough of them, saying, again, 40,000 is a big number, by the way, guys, that's a lot of XRP. But if you're going to be able to sell 10,000 of them at $5 and then 10,000 of them at $20, you're going to be sitting really good, is what I'm thinking. That enables you to save the other 50 in case the damn thing never turns around. It just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. The whole world decides that XRP is Amazon.
Yeah.
Then you still have 50% of your account to just hold for almost ever and possibly borrow against it, in particular when the ETF comes and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see Slave, H versus M. A lot of people mentioned 500,000. That's whale. That's whale money.
That's
for
whale
sure.
money.
That is whale money, which is, yeah, it would be amazing. Be amazing. Or maybe they're also talking about 500,000 being that life-changing amount of money for all of us. You know, $500,000 to everybody in here is, I mean, I think, you know, immediately I would reinvest at least a fifth of that, at least, into such things that we talk about. And then it's like that other 400 grand. It's like you could change your life.
Yeah,
you could change your life.
It really depends. I mean, do you have other coins? I mean,
yeah,
you know, I may or may not have many other coins. You know, it's not my only bag, maybe. You know, so it just depends.
Not from XRP is Godzilla. Yep, Godzilla.
It's not only is it Godzilla, it's had one of the best weeks, I'd have to say, or two. I'd say three or 4 weeks now that I look back of news of any coin out there. There's an ant. I know everybody on this live stream is kind of on our team, and I get that. We're an echo chamber to some degree. There are so many people out there who don't know anything about XRP, who are starting to learn about it. But I'm hearing a lot of very, very famous people in the crypto space telling me that they're selling their XRP because they've grown impatient. And consensus XRP blew up. Like, it was huge. People were telling me, man, I didn't even know anything about XRP until I went to consensus. One person told me that. And I was like, wow, that's cool, man. He didn't tell me that. I watched this video and he said that on his show. So it was really cool to hear what a presence XRP had. Brad Garlinghouse did a bunch of interviews, David Schwartz did a bunch of interviews. That's a big presence in a very important show. By the way, son, I will be at consensus next year. Period.
Yeah.
No question. I can't believe I didn't go this year.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you have it.
Love it.
Yeah. And if anybody here, I know Sean went, so Sean should reply. What I know it's going on right now. It's going on right now, but if anybody went to Cape Canaveral, sorry, I don't know the title of that show.
I forget too. Sean told me the name of it, but
not from this world. Oh yeah, thanks, brother, man. Yeah, it's good life too, right? Yeah. Has confirmed plans to launch a payment system of BRICS XRP considers currency. So yeah. That's interesting. I haven't heard him come right out and say that, but I have heard them beat all around the bush about it. So I would like somebody to send me that article if you can, or a link to it. I haven't heard Putin come out and say actually the words XRP yet, but maybe he has. Maybe I'm behind the times on that one.
Wow, the crew is just throwing out gold right now. Everybody, check it out. Just start reading the live chat.
And how about the interest rates?
Quantum, Dad. That's what it was called.
Quantum Summit. That's right. That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, Brent, we were invited to that, and we decided. I don't know.
Our lives are just too nuts right now to pull that off.
Yeah.
But we will be in alignment with going next year. So anybody who is interested or in that area, the two of us and Sean will be there. So if you want to link up with the Musketeers, please do.
And I want to hear from anybody that went to it, if they had a good time or a great time or whatever.
Sorry, Dad. Go ahead.
Somebody sent me the Molly Jimmy Valley interview last night. I haven't watched it, but I was going to listen to that one next. If Molly and Jimmy are in, I'm sure it was a great interview.
I've been watching Molly a lot lately, and she's really, really inspiring me. She's doing the kind of show that Brent would do, for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's awesome to watch. Thank you, Molly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Life with Glee, welcome in. Who saw the Forbes list of worthless crypto? It looked like a tip sheet to me. I love that. And then Professor responded to that. Sounds like a good list to invest in. Yeah. So it behooves us to look at the pink sheets.
Joanna, did you go to the Quantum? That's kind of close to where you're at, I know. Cape Canaveral south of where she is, I believe.
Thanks for holding it down over there, Sean.
Yeah, man.
Making a crew presence over there. Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Hey,
Not
Jack, welcome
coming.
in.
No, we're not. I'm not going to New York City anytime soon. No, no.
Yeah, sorry, Kyle. I went about 3 years ago for the first time, Kyle. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away. That's where I went to. We talk about healing sometimes. That was where my healing seminar was. Right? It was like the Hilton. It was in Brooklyn, I think. It was right by the airport, right by JFK. And
Long
yeah,
Island.
one of the great times of my life. That's I've driven some crazy places. I was like white knuckled. It was like a giant version of like when you first drive into San Francisco, if you're a West
Yeah.
Coaster, where it's just kind
Mhm.
of gets gnarly and the roads are kind of old and
Yeah.
it's not all straight, it's built on this island and you're like, dude, this is gnarly right now.
Yeah.
There's so many people driving and
The cr-
merging, and God forbid you get onto the turnpike like I did. God forbid. Much love, East Coast in New York.
the craziest place to drive in the world is San Francisco with a stick shift. It's absolutely gnarly. You're sitting on a hill that's like that at a stoplight. Just
Hmm.
think about that, guys. It's it's nerve wracking with a stick. It
Yeah,
really,
Al and Elizabeth had a Volkswagen. It was a Passat, right?
yeah,
For
yeah,
the
we did.
longest time since we've known Elizabeth, she had that car, and
Yeah,
yeah, I could only imagine.
yeah. It's wild. Yeah, I love a stick too. I'm an old guy. I love stick shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want that new Tacoma and stick, man. That would be dream car,
No, I can't believe they went with a 6-speed stick. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool.
right?
And it's a turbo.
Mm-hmm.
That thing could be quick. Yeah, yeah. OG's in the house.
Oh, gee, what up, bro?
Man,
Miss you,
we got
man.
the
Let's
whole
talk
gang
soon.
here. I wanted to talk about something that I heard that I've been hearing a lot lately, and now I'm not going to talk too deeply about it, but I think it really is important, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, but we really need to pay attention to our own focus. And we need to understand that there's everybody and their brother, and I know that's what this convention's about this weekend, is sound money. And sound money is really, really important, guys. But I keep here every show I click through, it's like the dollar's dying tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I got to point this out. Saudi Arabia is selling oil to China, and they're no longer using dollars to do so. What are Saudis doing with the dollars? I'm sorry, yuan. They're buying gold with it, right? Okay, there's not that much gold in the market. There's way more oil than there is gold. So what are they doing with it? That's right, they're buying dollars with it. Okay, so be careful what you're listening to, because why? Dollars are more liquid than any other currency in the planet. So if you've got money coming in, which everybody and their brother is giving Saudis money, what are they going to exchange it to? The one that's most acceptable around the world. They're not going to put it in pesos, right? They're not going to keep it in yuan. They're going
Mm-hmm.
to buy things with it. And when they don't, they have to buy a bond, or they have to buy gold, or they have to buy Bitcoin, or they have to buy crypto, or they have to do something with it because they don't want to keep it in a yuan, because yuan's only good in China. Now, if you're buying Chinese goods, which they're buying probably a lot of Chinese goods, then you're good to go. See what I mean? So everybody says, oh, they're getting out of the dollar, they're not using the dollar anymore. But let's remember, every country in the world is indebted. Every single one of them, right?
Mm.
What are they indebted in? Dollars. They have to pay dollars back to the IMF, not pesos, not yuan, not you. So I want you guys to get the big perspective of what I'm trying to explain here. Everybody says, "Oh, the dollar's dead. It's dying. Next week, it's going away." You know, today's the day, the 9th, right? That the 50 years that the Saudi oil deal closed today. They don't have to buy. Again, I just went over it. What are they going to put it into? And I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, if they're doing a deal with France for something, they'll put it into euros. Okay, yeah. But let's remember, every country in the world owes the IMF, and they owe the IMF not in anything other than dollars. So, yeah. I'm just saying they're still going to need dollars. So this is like a snake eating its tail. It's this perpetual thing that they've created with the US dollar. The IMF has created with the dollar. Is they loan it out as a dollar, so you have to pay it back in dollars. Therefore, there's always a need for dollars. Always. It doesn't even matter if you're only selling and buying in your currencies. There's still a need because you have to pay the debts off. So there's always more demand in the world for dollars than there are dollars. Why? Because you borrowed and now you have to pay the debt back of what you borrowed. Therefore, there's more debt than there is ownership of dollar. It's this perpetual mess that the world is in. So to everybody who gets on these shows, and I even heard my two buddies and brothers of mine that I really love very much, Dave and Fersan, talking about this on the other night, and they were like, "Oh my God, the dollar's dying and it's dead, and someday they're no longer going to need dollars for this and this and this and that." And I'm like, okay, but you need to look at the big picture, because even Russians use dollars. There's more $100 bills in Russia than there is in America.
Wow.
Okay, so just remember that, guys. Is it declining? Yes. Is it going to happen in my lifetime? Probably, but it is not next week. So anyway.
Yeah, I really love that angle, Dad.
It's really important. Because it'll tell you it's gone. It's done. Forget it. You know, but yeah.
Yeah. So what else are you going to transition to? Yeah, that started to get clearer. I mean, not because like I just learned a lot from what you said, but also understanding the history. You know, like I just went back through the whole Bretton Woods and, you know, what the dollar really became to the rest of the world. And, you know, it's kind of, it's weird to say it as an American, but it's like we are looking and we see how many people use it, you know, and how many people speak English, and, you know, what the influence in the culture is of that. You know, it's still valuable, even though, like you're talking about, very, very indebted.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The snake eating its own tail.
I have to answer Chris B here. My family thinks I'm a failure because I bought coins. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chris B, I've lost it. There's so many people in here. I love this. The chat is just flying to where I can't even keep up with it. That's a good thing. Here's the thing. You don't need to be vindicated by your family. That would be fun and that'd be great. But vindication, I'm not trying to teach you how to be a human being, but that's a form of being vindictive, right? That's a negative trait. That's something that you're trying to throw something in somebody's face. Just own it, man. Just own it. You've already won. You're way out ahead of their investments. What are they invested in? Because I know there isn't a better investment out there. Well, there hasn't been in the last decade, let's put it that way, than crypto. So you're at least going to be in the top 5 of investments, and they're probably not even invested in anything. And anybody that tries to tell you that a real estate right now is a better investment than what those coins that you just mentioned, they don't know what they're talking about. And I'm no authority on the both subjects. I'm just saying scoreboard. That's all you need to do is look at the last decade, and you can compare it against gold, diamonds, real estate, all of it. It's surpassed all of those in the last decade. Does that mean that the next decade is going to be on your side? Probably, because let's remember what Congress has been doing the last couple of weeks. It's all been going in our favor. All in our favor. Oh, this is something I have to talk about. The cadaver in chief. Okay.
You mean bribing?
Yeah, that he vetoed a bill. Okay. And I thought, I don't know enough about that SAB 121. I need to go back and look through it and figure out what's going on there. So I kind of looked back into it, and then I figured it out. Now I really understand what that bill is. And boy, I hope we get the 2/3 to get that thing thrown in his face, if you will. Okay, guys, this is really important for everybody to understand about that bill. What they're talking about is they're talking about the collateralization within banking of this asset class. In other words, all of our cryptos being owned by the banks, right?
Right.
Okay. In the fine print, they explain it 4 different times the same way, which is essentially like this. It's cash to cash in the bank. In other words, you're going to walk into your bank and you're going to say, I'm going to lay my crypto on the table. I want you to hold as collateral my 50,000 XRP. They're only required to give you cash back. Bingo. That, in a nutshell, that's what that bill says. 4 different ways. They're doing the old cash and grab. So I did a video about this 2 years ago in the camper, and it was exactly that. And I told everybody they're going to take your coins and they're going to give you cash equivalents. You don't want the cash equivalent. You want cash equivalent, you would just save your money in a bank with cash. You don't want your bank to hold your cash because cash is trash. So you want the bank to hold your XRP or your Bitcoin or your Ethereum, and you want them to hold that asset. You don't want them to own up with all of the coins, because let's remember, 63 banks have just been thrown under the bus. They won't tell us which 63 banks are now insolvent. By the way, they're all insolvent. All of them don't have as much money as they owe. That is the definition of insolvent. So they are all insolvent, but they're throwing these 63 under the bus. Well, why are they going to do that? Because it's a consolidation right now. There's far too many banks in America, for number one. Far too many. It's a couple of thousand or something. It's ridiculous. So they're going to consolidate all of this so it can get closer to being able to control this and control the coins within a group of people. This is what that thing's all about. You don't want to store your coins there. So that's why they want to try and keep your wallets from being legal and your ownership of your own stuff, which is your God-given right. You paid the tax on it. You own it. It should be yours. Okay. But what do we know about property? And you always have to pay tax, so you really don't own it outright, do you? You always have to pay a registration fee on your vehicle, don't you? So you really don't own it outright. You still got to have to pay for it. Like, all of that is what they're going to try and do with your coins in their collateralization or custodial use case in the bank. And then they're just going to say, well, no, we'll keep the gold bars, man. We'll give you the equivalent, man. Why? We'll just, and what are they really doing? They're just printing more and more and more and more. So you really don't get the value of it going up by owning it. And the maneuverability of being able to say, I'm done with this country and I'm done of your taxation and your legislation and your rules. And I'm going to go visit Cambodia. I don't care where I go, but I'm going somewhere where my money is more acceptable. I'll take my XRP. Or in a more scarce situation, Bitcoin. And they're going to be, oh, well, you can't have the Bitcoin. We're just going to give you the cash equivalent. And that's going to be about the time 5-10 years from now when you can't find a Satoshi on the street. And then you're going to be standing there going, oh, man, I got duped. Well, thankfully enough, how cool is this? There was enough congressmen and senators in America that were like, no, man, I smell that rat. I see what you're doing here. And we're not down for that. Because who wrote that bill? The SEC wrote that bill. And those people have been sharks from day one. Day one, guys.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're after our crypto. And you and I know it. And I'm not talking out of school here. Everybody in this group knows that. But I just wanted to point out that fact. And then when I heard the cadaver tell me that he hasn't vetoed anything. And he vetoed that. I'm like, you crooked. Yeah, I see what you're up to. What really is behind that bill? And that's when it made me really deep dive into it. I'm like, that's what they're up to. There it is. That is your classic example of, oh, you mean you own beachfront property? We'll just give you the cash equivalent. We'll take the property. That's what that is. Not good. Not good is what they're trying to do. Yeah. Anyway.
Man, I'm so glad you talked about that. That is, I completely agree. That's been my great fear, in this whole space, is that just getting harder and harder and harder for all of us to hang on to our own crypto. And, the beginning of my fear and the start of that really was ETFs. It was like, okay, well, we'll get people comfortable with being able to put, have the price exposure, of Bitcoin for my retirement fund or whatever. And then you get into what they're doing on the side with like capital gains tax and all this other crap that is just always just the new bill.
Yep.
It's a word I can't use on here. So I won't, because I really like our live chat, but it's not good. It's not good, Dad. It's not good.
No, it's not good.
No, and you put it really well. They're sharks, and the SEC could be part of the whole big thing, and it's just a plan, like we've all talked about with XRP. It's just a stall. It's a stall tactic so that they can all come into alignment with how they want it. They want to get it to pry it out of our cold dead fingers, or however they think about these things. When I look at the history of governments and politics and these systems, like, way beyond my life. It's why we don't talk about it much on here, because it's like disgusting. It actually, like, it's like revolting to me that you could go into this world, that you could do business with people, and that you can interact with people, and that you could be in a position of power to help people, and you write crap like that.
I know.
You're this is what I was going to say to Chris earlier. Okay, your family isn't into you, doing crypto. Maybe they want to take a jab at you about it, and you want to hang on, and you think you're doing the right thing, so you come to places like this.
Mm-hmm.
Double down, bro. I got into an argument with somebody at a seminar over this because he was being a greedy little prick. What I said to the guy was, I really, really, really believe in Cardano. and what they're doing. So I have some of it. And my friend Victoria really was getting into crypto and really wanted to, you got to have skin in the game. You got to have buzz, right? So when the day comes, Chris, when you are totally valid and you've done okay in your investments, like my friend Victoria and I did in Cardano, it's about giving some of it away. Help set your family up. Give some of it to them. Give them skin in the game.
Yeah.
And then you're not the guy that's like, I told you so. It's
Right.
You're the guy that is helping people right now. And for all the leaders across the world to not be those people is sickening. It is It is below the vibration of what people like us have to bring to this world. And so I'm excited for the days where we're laughing at it and we're figuring out how to hang on to it for dear life. I want to go through that battle with all of you.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can make it something more beautiful than that, than a battle and being disgusted and being frustrated and tinfoil hats. Like, we got to be smarter. We've got to be strategists in this thing. And man, since I've been in crypto, I'm just glad I have you, Dad. I'm glad I have you to bounce all of this stuff off of.
Yeah.
Because of the vision that you have and the way that you look at it, it is different than mine in a lot of ways, and I need it. And still your biggest fan, bro, right here. And
Thanks.
now I get so much amazing comments and love from the crew that it's like I'm not even thinking about being disgusted anymore. I'm just thinking about how we hang on.
No, it's it.
How we use this technology and how we share it with our family to create something different for humanity.
Yeah.
And that might be a little optimistic, but that's why you come to the Staple Crew, folks.
Yeah.
We're
it's really
optimistic about this thing.
I think crypto came along at the perfect time. I got to answer a quick question from Melissa real quick. Yeah, that bill was written. The SEC had a rule that they wanted to do that. And the group of Congress people put forward the bill saying, no, you can't do that. So yes, we want the bill to pass. And then he vetoed its passing. Sorry if I wasn't clear about that before. And I want to say something real quick to XRP Elementary. You need to email us. We need to get a hold of you, brother. We really do. Brent and I have an idea for you. Big time.
Yep.
We have an idea for almost everybody in here, but we'd love email the Staple Crew. Please, if you can, if you remember to do so. Yeah. Yes, I thought crypto came along at exactly the perfect time when globalism really had its hooks in the entire world. And we got a foot in the door. We had a crack with the 2008 and the banking debacle, with real estate. And everybody saw the chink in the armor and said, oh, this is it. We better figure this out. We better do something about this. And that's Satoshi, whoever you believe it might be. That whole thing happened, and we had an opportunity and an opening, which is still one of the things that frustrates me very much when I hear people say constantly, we've got to have rules, we've got to have legislation, we've got to have bills, we've got to have all this stuff passed. No, we don't. We need open source, decentralized, perfect written encryption. And then we don't care what they say. That's how you handle that. That's what I love about Bitcoin. I know a lot of people don't love Bitcoin, but there's no CEO to it. There's no board of directors. Okay. I know laws, rules, regulations. You know what all of those things mean to me in a 64-year-old man's lifetime?
What do they mean, Dad?
They mean, here we come again, bend over the table because the little guy's going to take it again. Every time I hear rule regulation, oh, we have a committee, we have a board. Well, we formed a group. Who formed the group? Did the citizens of the community form the group, or did you political wannabes decide to create something? That's what happened every single time. And you've all been expressed to be corrupted. Though nothing ever ends up well for all the little people, ever. I don't know if you people have had your eyes open, but the last decade or two, it's just been like, they don't do anything for us.
No.
I did the numbers on the, whatever it was, 48, God, it was stupid. $48 million per household in 2020 was printed, and or whatever it was, 48,000. And 2,000 went to 6,000 of the 48,000, 42 went to the system. We got 6,000 of the 48 per family household of everybody in America. How do you explain that? That's what I'm talking about. You can only fix that with code.
Yep.
When you get humanity in between us, the little guy, and the system, and you get the rules and the committees and the legislature and the red tape, by the time it gets to you and I, it's a trickle. There's nothing left. And then I hear people constantly telling me, well, we can't get rich, Alan, if we don't have legislation. Well, good for you, man. Dude, you got a bunch of XRP. You got rich. Good for you, man. Wow, good. Hey, how's that big shiny house on the hill, dude? That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the little guy winning for once. And we finally have encryption to pull this off. And then we're just laying down our armor and just saying, oh, yeah, man, go ahead, because I get rich. Cool, I'm good, man. I'm good with it. Really? Do you see how foolish all that sounds? That's not why I got in this, man. I didn't get in this to get rich. I got in it because it was an opportunity for us to keep them honest.
Yeah.
That's what blockchain is honesty. We need to keep them honest with it, not allow them to corrupt it and use it against us. And it's sad, man. It's sad. I never thought the people who support crypto, when I got into it 8 years ago, would think the way they do today. I just thought, wow, man, wow. I'm the lone wolf on the hill here. Doesn't it? Yeah. Everybody talked like I do 6-8 years ago. Everybody did. But anyway, here we stand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Endless optimism that we have for all of you. Lynn asked a question. What was that blockchain book that you recommend? I actually got the ones that I keep copies of and I reread. I've saved. This is the one that I've been rereading. Is Baxter Hines' Digital Finance. It's really digging into like security tokens, and then really cool example. He gives examples of like Facebook's Libra. He gives a great example of Ripple XRP, like case studies. And then really just kind of expands on what all we're going to be doing with digital finance as the old systems merge with the new systems. What's that going to look like? How do we get prepared for that? And that's a huge thing. So I'm rereading this book currently. Love it. The one I've recommended forever is The Real Business of Blockchain. This is a maybe 4-year-old book now, but it gets into how much a blockchain adoption is happening with all the big companies around the world, all of them. And these two guys just crunched the numbers on all of it. And they explained blockchain in a way to me at the time where it just literally is like a lightning bolt going off in my brain. So a good one. Future Coders. Not sure if this one's great or not, but it's the one that I dug into. Blockchain Developer. My favorite of all time, Blockchain 2035 by Jared Tate and Andrew Knapp. These guys are who created Digibyte. And so they got some really cool Digibyte examples in it, but they got some really cool life history, kind of stuff that Dad and I were just talking about, where it's just kind of true world stuff, how we felt in our life. We see the crookedness. We got to try to keep them honest. How do you do that? You do it with the trustless system. You do it with code. You know, we're not money launderers. We're not. That's people who've got too much money and they want to make way too much more money do that kind of stuff. That's not who we are. And the end of the book is talking about the future of what we could be with all of this thing. This book rocks right here. This book rocks, and this book rocks. This is where I want to go right here. I need to understand that. And then, of course, we will be getting into this one on Patreon. My dad and Elizabeth, their ideas for it are awesome. I can't wait to see them crush it, and I can't wait to help them do it. We got to make sure and write back to a few people on Patreon about that, Dad, because there's some people on the fence, you know, with doing it or not.
We filmed episode 3 of Become Your Own Maker for the Patreon people, and we erased it, so we didn't post it. So the other thing is too, guys, I meant to say this in my videos and I don't. If you become a Patreon member, you get my videos the day before, so you don't have to sit through all the damn commercials. That's kind of cool. And our Patreon's really cheap, and it helps, and most of it goes to a good cause. I don't really want to get into that right now, but you can find us at thestaplecrew.info for that. Yeah. But what do we got? Any good questions? Dude, green eggs and ham? Of course. Yeah. That was nice. No, my book was My Side of the Mountain.
Yeah.
That book changed my whole life, my whole perspective about life. Brilliant kids book. Really good. Yeah. I had an idea for Brent and I 6-8 months, a year ago, something like that, writing children's books about crypto.
Yeah.
And we haven't done it yet. I think it would be brilliant though, because kids today understand digital, you know. Yeah.
You know, the idea just came to me, Dad. What if we did a cool father-son, like my dad taught me how to surf and bought me my first surfboard and Weddy, and we went to his hometown here in California and got the board there. We surfed together in Mexico. What if it was the two of us like learn how to surf, but you and I are like, I bring some idea up to you randomly about this, and then we just back and forth about it. And that's the whole book. You know, there's like little ideas like that would be so fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just show a positive relationship, you know, a family relationship, and then teach somebody something fundamentally really cool, like potentially very helpful to humanity, and then you all go have a good time surfing at the end of the day.
Well, you're the writer, son. Get on that.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the first draft on my desk. Tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, Lynn. Much love.
Yeah, there you go. Schoolhouse Rock. Cody got a job, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
congratulations, bro.
You know, they'll hire anybody. Congratulations, brother. Good for you. Hope
Yeah.
it's the job you wanted. Yeah.
I cannot wait to make videos on Money Paradise. Cody and I are building up to that. And I think we had the chat. And I have a text message that I still have to send him that's about this long. And so we're those kinds of friends. And we really want to share about everything with you guys, and be completely open and completely honest. And a lot of what Cody does on his show really, I know, is going to be relatable to a lot of people. And that's why I really want to help him. It's very cool. So keep going, brother. Keep going. OG, we love you, bro. Sorry, the day was not a great one. I hope everything's okay. We always got your back here, man. Talk to us. Call me, man. Call me today.
Yeah. Text me for sure. Let me know what's up in your life, brother. Hope all's well. Hey, Landon played hockey. His dad taught him to play hockey, and they played together for 10 years. That is cool. That's cool factor right there.
That is cool.
Yeah, those Canadians and all that hockey stuff, man. I don't know.
So it's Oilers and Panthers in the Cup right now.
Wow.
And of all the teams in the world that could be in it, I would root for the Panthers. But I am rooting for the Oilers just for my boy. Just for my secret weapon. I'm coming to the other side.
No way. Is that a Canadian team in the Cup? How long has that been?
Gretzky era.
The Cubs just turn that screw a little tighter there. That's bad. Go Oilers. Yeah. Hey, I was an Oilers fan back when Gretzky would. Let's see. Gretzky, Yari Curry, Paul Coffey.
Kelly Rudy, Marty McSorley.
Was Marty an Oiler?
No, he wasn't. I'm thinking of the Kings. I'm thinking of the Gretzky Kings team.
No, all the rest of those guys were,
Yeah,
Oilers. Yeah, that's cool.
They won 4 in a row, right? I wonder if anybody's ever done that.
Robert Driscoll in the house. Evening.
Hey, Robert. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Oh, Grant Fuhrer. Yeah. It was Grant Fuhrer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Slave, are you a hockey fan? Who's your team?
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of Canadians in here. I was just giving you guys a hard time about you guys not being in the Cup forever, right?
Yeah.
It's been
you kept the bus out of it forever.
Yeah. When I lived in Canada, I thought Americans were crazy about baseball and football, but hockey is a whole different thing. It's a level of, it's unbelievable. I tell this story. We went to a celebration of life, and they had a hockey game on. At the wedding, when they're up on the podium, the game's on next to it. Like, seriously, I'm not even kidding about that for all the guys in the crowd. That's unbelievable. It's great. Anyway, yeah. It's a whole different level of being a fan. Oh, I heard an interesting little fact the other day. The American cricket team is kicking ass. I was like, what? I didn't even know we had a cricket team. We beat the Pakistanis or something like that in a preliminary guy. I was like, what? Never even heard of such a thing. Yeah. I tell you guys I know I've told this story before. That's a great story. But my boss, I won't tell the whole story, but my boss bought the Florida Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he bought them. I know I've told the story, but he was driving to work and he heard that they were for sale on the radio and literally like pulled his car over the side of the road and called. He knew one of the owners. I want to say Dan Marino and the Shula family were part owners, and he knew both those guys who are football people, but they were part owners of the team. And he called him up and said, "I'm buying them. I'll take them. I'm not even going to haggle about the price. I want them."
Mm-hmm.
And he was coming to the boat, and he pulls up, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I just bought the Panthers." And I'm like, "Dude's got a lion in a cage or something. What's he talking about, man? He bought a Panther." It's like, "No, man, I bought the hockey team, the Panthers." And I was like, "What?
What?
Yeah, what?
Huh?
Yeah, yeah."
Wow.
And I had I had glass seats anytime I wanted them. Anytime I wanted them. And I'd only lived 30 minutes from the arena. Yeah, free parking. I could go every night. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a money has certain privileges that even the boat captain gets to take advantage of occasionally, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What? He has a panther?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, he's got a panther.
Like, you just expect those people to have like a monkey or some sort of exotic animal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Florida, so
And
everybody there wants to be Tony Montana. I can't tell you how many times I watched Scarface when I lived in Florida. I mean, it was like one of like 3 DVDs that my roommate owned was Scarface.
No, Florida Panthers. Carolina Panthers is football.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Panthers is hockey. So, okay, I'm center. You know how I am. I'm front row glass, right? Blue line. I'm just sitting there, got a beer in one hand, and I'm talking to whoever's sitting next to me. And literally, this puck, it gets 2 guys and it gets slammed up against the ice. And it just does one of these little twirly things, like perfectly climbs up over the glass, would have landed in my beer. And I wasn't paying attention. And somebody grabbed it right in front of my face. I never caught a foul ball or grabbed a puck or any of those kinds. Like, there it was. And Brent will tell you, I can catch anything. And it was just like, I was talking to the girl or whatever I was doing at the time. And anyway, my opportunity of a lifetime, and it got away. Yeah.
We went to a Padres game, my dad and 2 of our friends from Mexico. Atlanta. And Dad went up to go get drinks or something. And foul ball came racing, people grabbing it, ball keeps flying. I'm holding on to beer, right? And I jump over my seat into the row above me. And now I'm getting in front of this thing, like, hey, I'm going to block this. This is my foul ball. I got a feeling these people right here, they're too drunk. They're not going to get it. Doesn't look like any of them can really catch. And so, sure enough, comes to me, bounces off of me. I spill my beer all over my like Padre sweatshirt, like down the front of myself. And the guy next to me in the seat, it bounced down to where I was at. And the guy next to me just picked it up. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
I was that close, man.
Right.
Hey, Dad, can you give me another beer? Yeah. That's true story. That same guy, same day, we scored like a winning run. And I went to high five him. And he missed my hand and smacked me in the face.
Yeah. So hammered.
So dude got foul ball and he smacked me in the face. And when I got smacked, I was like, had a moment where I was like, bro, like, you're killing me, dude. Killing me today, man.
I've got to get, I got to answer this one. Atlantic Living. He asked this in the chat too, and it was too long of an answer. Where was it? Okay. He asked where I got the list of 10 coins. There was 9 coins, and there was 9 coins that the BIS bought. It's in their quarterly report for this quarter. First year, this year, quarter. And it's in their quarterly report. And it was sent to me. And when I read it, as soon as I was reading, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to scroll through YouTube and see if anybody's done a YouTube video on it. And there was a guy by the name of, what's his name? I don't watch his show very often, but he did a show on it. Was it Lark Davis? I think Lark Davis did a show on the 9 coins and the percentages of each one they bought. And then somebody just sent me another guy that I know. Actually, I've talked to him, is Barron Report. Barron is his last name. He did a show on it as well. Yeah, but it's in their quarterly report. They own 9 coins, and it's all the usual suspects, the ones I talked about in there. The only ones that I thought was unique was Sol wasn't on it. Sol has some big code issues from what I understand. And they're trying to rapidly fix it right now. There was another coin that wasn't on it that I thought was really interesting. But anyway, the usual suspects were on there. You know what I mean? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano was on it, which I thought strange. I wouldn't thought they would have been on it, but Algo was on it. Quant was on it. What was that? 7. It was 2 more. Oh, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. Mm-hmm. But those 5 coins I've heard a million times, guys. Not a million times. 3 different times from 3 different people. In fact, I tell this story. I was told by a high-ranking naval officer about the 5 coins, and that being Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and XRP. Those 5 are on their list. And I was told that list before Bitcoin Cash existed. In fact, I wasn't the only one. I heard another man talking about that. And if you guys know who Dick Allgeier is, he does remote viewing. He knew a naval commander that knew about that list too. Then I heard the same list from a man by the name of Bitcoin Ben. And Bitcoin Ben heard it from the owner of Kraken Exchange, Jesse. And Jesse, right? Yeah, Jesse owns. That's my puppy's name, but I'm pretty sure that's his name too. Anyway, yeah, it is. And he had the list. I want to say 6 years ago, I heard about all that, those 5 coins, or whatever that's worth to you guys. Now, when they keep saying the same 5 and they keep saying it from credible people, I'm like, well, I'm not going to argue with it. I'm just going to go ahead and go with it until somebody, comes along with a better, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I own all those because I don't. I don't own all those. Yeah. Simon's on about the top of the market.
Yeah, $3 by fall. I don't know if I see that. I mean, with the rapid acceleration of what's happening, yeah, maybe. But let's look out a little further than that. We're looking at week to week, all of us, right? But we got to see Like I just, set prices. Who knows?
I do. Northern Living brings up a good point from my last video, and we've all tried to front run all these coins. I know this is going to sound stupid, and I said it in my video. If you buy XRP at $5 and it's skyrocketing, you bought it at a steal. It's a steal. If you buy XLM and it's at $10, it's a steal. Because that means it's been picked. That's the coin. Everybody knows it. Everybody's going with it. What you and I are trying to do is listen to a bunch of content providers tell us which is the coin of the 1,000 coins before the coin gets chosen. You see how stupid that sounds sometimes when you think it through your head? You're like, what are we trying to do here? What happens is you start leading with your heart or normalcy bias or whatever you want to call it, echo chamber, that you're only listening to the stuff about your coin that you like. And then, dog with hat becomes, the global currency. You're like, well, now what? Well, I'm not buying dog with hat. Well, stay objective is what the whole video was about. Keep some dry powder, or like somebody put in the comments of the video, it's a brilliant idea. It's like, okay, well, at that point, I can sell all my coins or atomic swap them into the other coin. Cool. I'll do that, which is a great, great idea as well. Because remember what we said earlier, you want to be in the market all the time because you don't know when those 15 days when 90% of the profits are made. Yeah.
Nina, glad you made it too. Good to see you in here. WV, we appreciate you. So, we got, it's summer 25. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, doing everything to hold off the crash until after the election. Yeah.
What crash?
Yeah, right. What exactly? It's like, which one?
There's no crash coming. I don't see it, guys. I'm sorry, I don't see a crash coming. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I don't. They're printing more money today than they've ever printed. They just got done with the second tour with China about going to give them a bunch of money. Let me talk about that. You know why we go to China and talk to them? Well, we always go there with our economists, right? With our people that are closest to the printing press, right? So what are we doing over there? We go to China and we say, look, China, we're going to give you a bunch of American money and we're going to want you to buy those bonds. So Xi Jinping's like, well, let me think about this now. You're going to give me the money to buy your bonds. Yeah. And we get to own them. Yeah. Oh, where's the downside for him? Hello.
Yeah.
But it keeps the dollar relevant globally. That's what they're doing. Is it a Ponzi scheme? We've known that for a while. Is it bad practice? Really bad. That's like buying your own burgers at a burger stand. Like, what are you doing? But, you got to do some things to keep yourself relevant, Yeah. Yeah.
Simon, it's called a correction. #dip. Love it.
Christian, I like that portfolio.
Yeah, that's what the cool kids call it. Yeah, I like that too, Christian. A lot of people ask us about Theta. We've always spoken very highly of it. It's one that I want to go back into, just because I still don't know what they're doing right now. I got to check it out.
Let's remember this is another one too that I heard somebody on a YouTube channel talking the other day, and he got this one all completely wrong. Let's clear this up. Short-term money is paying higher interest rate than a 30-year bond. Yeah, that's right. I just said that. So you make more interest off a 10-year bond than you do a 30-year. And you make more interest off a 6-month bond than you do a 10-year. I know it's backwards. It's called inverted. Okay. What does that do to the dollar? Let's remember. Okay, let's backtrack. What is a dollar? A dollar is a bond. A dollar is not a 6-month bond. It's an immediate bond. It's a treasury note, U.S. treasuries. It's the same thing. One is instant, redeemable immediately, and the other ones have a time element to them. The immediate one, the cash one, doesn't pay an interest, as we all know, because when you put it in a bank, they don't give you anything for it. But it's an immediate. We all look at it as cash money. It's not. It's a liquid bond, okay? Redeemable immediately. So when you see all of your money, short-term money, being more valuable than long-term money, they tell you that they don't believe the future, way out in the future, is very bright, but they believe for the next 6 months, we're going to be just fine. It's a completely different way of doing business, and they've flipped the old way of doing business on its head. And I don't think, this is just my guess, and I know a revolutionary guess right here, I don't think we're ever going to go back to the other way. Long-term money being cheaper than short-term money. I know everybody in the world thinks that's what's going to happen, but I don't. Because it works. It works for them. It's all short-term money. I just put everybody to sleep with bond chat, but and the chickens are pecking on the door again. So
the chicken.
Oh, I got one.
Love it, Dad. You're crushing today, man. I'm loving it.
Here, we got one right. We got one right here.
Look at that buddy boy.
There's the Bruno man.
He's a Bruno man.
Bruno boy. So, XRP preach. Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah, I love you too, man. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Thanks, preacher. Love you too. Appreciate that.
Dog with no hat. Yeah.
Everybody I actually get to meet and talk to, and the people that we get to become friends with, from the channel. Yeah. I just love those people. Like, I really love the people, the ones that we shout out a lot, or we mention stories of. It's like you got friends in me, that's for sure. Not to get too cheesy toy story there, but I freaking love you. I love you.
Yeah, Professor, you like the Bruno pic? That's a poster, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bruno man.
Mr. Handsome himself.
Yeah. That was a day we took him to Costco in the truck, and we all ate lunch right there in the cab of the truck. That's where he's sitting.
That's so cool.
Shared a Costco chicken with the dog. He was a big fan, as you can see.
Yeah.
Big fan that day. Alan, thoughts on no buyback take out of our hands? No buyback. I don't know. I'll hum a few more bars.
Bruno's the true face of the Staple crew.
Truly.
That's just a figurehead.
Uh-huh. He's the brains of the outfit, for sure.
Roto Costco, chicken at Costco, not too shabby. Agreed.
Yeah. He's, he was living life that day, for sure.
Yeah, Messi, love that comment. Utility coins will not have a bear market, in my opinion. Hold strong. I think that's why I recommended that book. It's like understanding utility tokens and what systems, what careers, what jobs, what legal things is blockchain going to consume, and what do those old systems and how we do things look like within the new. And we get to create that. You know, there's a lot of you who are lawyers, and a lot of you are accountants, and a lot of you coders and investors, and you know, and so I talked to my friend Greg on here, and he clearly wants to be a big part of innovating in the space and being a big part of it, and I just support him so much because it's like, man, we need those people. Some of the smartest people I talked to in Vegas were like, man, we need people to write it. We need people to do it.
Yeah.
We need to get it done. And we're still working on it. So if you got that kind of talent, lend it to us, please.
Yeah, there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's just amazing. Every time I go to one of those shows, it's just like, wow, man, I didn't think about that. But yeah, we need that. Yeah, keep working. Keep working on that. I heard consensus. I heard from 2 different people now. I talked to one guy on the phone that was at consensus, and he said it was mind-blowing, like mind-blowingly good. It was all just big money looking for coders and people that are trying to change the world. That's what the whole show was. And I was like, man, I can't believe I missed that. Like, that's me all over again.
That's so cool.
And I'd really love to be at a show. I don't want this to come out wrong. I'd really love to be at a show where nobody knows who I am. Be kind of cool. Again, you know what I mean? Because, see, that came out wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I just want to get in there and just hear who the movers and shakers are and just get into the nitty gritty of it all, you know? Mm-hmm. Most of these shows that I go to XRP are just like hanging out with people that I love to be with. You know, it's more of a hangout than it is, you know, really deep dive study, you know?
Yeah, I want to feel the light bulbs going off again.
Yeah.
I want to learn what they're going to do to the engine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's too much fun, man. I was watching this one guy's live show of him walking around the show, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to be there next year. And I think I'm going to go to Pacific Bitcoin. That's in October. It's close to where I live, so I might as well go. That's going to be a good one, too. Everybody raves about that one.
Professor, go have fun with the kids.
Nice. That sounds like a great day.
I gotta out here in a bit, Dad.
Yeah, let's boogie. Let's do it.
Yeah, crypto professor going to the pool with the kids just sounds so good. Get some stuff done and go see go try to see my nieces today.
That's not code for he's going to the restroom? Well, I'm sorry, I mistook that whole statement. I thought he was old man jokes.
Yes, old man jokes. I still love them. Cat bowl.
We're gonna start busting those out now. In the closing moments.
Staple crew hat. It's a dead giveaway.
That's true, right? Yeah.
It's like Wayne and Garth. Like Dad's always wearing his Staple Crew hat, and I'm trying to go incognito.
Right. If I didn't wear a hat, nobody would even know who I was. It's true.
Nice. Landon's going on a hike with his daughter.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like fun, guys. Man. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Perfect.
Love it, guys. All right, man. We'll see you all next weekend. Let's hope, right? I'm going to be on the boat next weekend.
Nice.
We got the 4th coming up, but that's like a few weeks away. I'll be out the boat then for sure. And I'll be doing some live shows from the boat. Hopefully this year I'm going to be able to sit down and actually have a chat with some people and kind of shoot that out. That'd be good fun. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
camp.
Simon, we're due some woo. I'm gonna get wooing this week on Patreon. So look for that too. Keep watching Ghost Money. Keep watching Money Paradise. And we also love Conscious Contact. We're gonna have a video coming out of Rashim, so you can see the man behind that amazing channel.
Yeah.
And man, we love all of you. Thank you both. Thank you all for being here. I was just reading your comment, Melissa. Like, love you both. We love you too.
Melissa, shoot me a text.
Check out Dipito Crypto. You know, if there's a show like we could merge with and partner with and people to talk to, it would most definitely be them, because they're people like us, and they want to see good things work out for everybody. And that's true of all the channels I just brought up. And we're so thankful to be in a community with all of you.
And don't forget Dip a Toe.
Yeah, exactly. Dip a Toe. And Simon Says Crypto also throws out some really awesome shorts and awesome content here and there. So check out Simon's channels and their channel together with Melissa called Dip a Toe Crypto. With that crew,
Melissa, give me a call.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, we are.
Oh, sorry. Wait.